Hello, good morning. Welcome to our Thursday morning coffee run. Hope you've got your coffee and you're ready to go. So as you guys will have seen, whether you're joining me from the event on the page, whether you found me through my email list, or whether you're kind of just new and floating around, welcome. My name is Nicola and I'm really passionate and excited about getting you moving. I love marketing. I love the whole psychology around it. Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Margaret. I'm in my walking gear because we haven't been for a walk yet. I've been on a call to the UK since 7:30 a.m. So what we are going to be doing today is I wanted to chat with you a little bit about the psychology around marketing. Now, one of the things that I've found super interesting that I've personally learned about people over the last week is that a lot of the things that I think are really common knowledge are not. So I was chatting with a gentleman last week and he runs this really awesome, successful podcast. And I said to him, what are you doing with these people who are following you, who are listening? And I want you guys to think about a podcast or a Facebook Live or something like that, a bit like going and seeing someone really fabulous at a bar. Right, you see them sitting over there, they look really great, and you're like, I'm going to go over and say hi and ask if they'd like a drink. So you're buying, right? So in your mind, a podcast, a Facebook Live, a piece of marketing material, a post, your blogs, all of that stuff is like the first drink, okay? So I said to him, all right, that's really awesome. You've got all this amazing content out there. What is this mission that you're on? And I might have the actual number. His name was Oscar Trimboli, and I was in a training with him that was all about the power of deep listening, which is just really freaking amazing. I absolutely loved it. Now, he is on a mission, I think, to help. Hey, Jess, good morning. It's early for you over there in WA. So his mission is that by 2030, he will impact the world by helping 10 million people understand how to listen to themselves first in order to be able to be available listen to others. I was like, that's really freaking awesome. So deep listening, Oscar Trimboli. I'm going to tag him in this. It's a really cute little book. It's awesome. So anyway, I was chatting with him and one of the... pregnancy insomnia, Jess. Yeah. One of the things that I said, so, what is the next step for people to engage with you? And he said, well, they listen to the podcast. And I've been talking with other people about this, and they're like, you know what, I've got all of this free content out there. I'm doing all this stuff, but it's still not kind of flowing. So it's a bit like if you buy a drink for someone at a bar and then go, awesome, but then you don't engage in conversation with them, or you don't have a way of getting to learn about them and getting to know them better, then how on earth are you going to position yourself in a way that either has them asking you if you want to go on a date or if you want to ask them to go out on a date? Because otherwise you might just seem like this crazy, scary person who wants to either get married straight away or is like, hey, I'd love to buy you a drink. And then you kind of turn around and walk away because that's just weird. And then they're going to think that their drink is spiked or that they're just going to distrust you because something weird just went on, right? So we want to imagine that our marketing process, the relationship building process, is exactly like the dating process. So we want to have some little landmarks almost in place for people to be taken on a relationship building journey with you. So we give them something for free in order for them to see that we're actually really awesome, that we do know our stuff, that we are knowledgeable in our area, right? Thank you, Margaret. I think it's pretty cool too. Then the next step is asking questions. What do you like? What are your interests? You might share a little bit about you as well. And there has to be something that happens in order to progress the relationship to the next step. Now, that next step might be buying another drink. It might be bailing out, because if they're really boring, you probably don't want to buy another drink for them. If they're really boring at that point, then you probably don't want to see them again or engage with them any further. And if they think that you're really boring, then they need an out as well, right? Because we're not a great fit for everybody. We know that. So there has to be something that enables people to say, oh yeah, cool. Like that's the next logical step in order to be able to progress to the next thing. So it might be buying another drink. It might be going on a date. It might be getting a phone number. It might be connecting on Facebook. I don't know, like in a dating scenario, whatever it is. In a marketing scenario, what we want to do is ask them for their name and email address. And in exchange for that, we're going to give them something in their inbox that is of high value. Now, a lot of people say to me, oh, Nicola, but how do I give them, what do I give them that's not too much? Like, I don't want to give away the whole entire farm, but what is it that I give them in order to not give them too much, but give them enough? If that's the way that you're thinking, I want you to stop it. Okay? You cannot give them too much information. Obviously, you don't want to give them your whole course, because that would be crazy, or give you consulting away for free, because that doesn't make any logical sense and it doesn't make good business sense. But you can't give them too much information, because at the end of the day, what I've learned throughout like 6 years of practicing this profitably and 8 years of building this thing that is my business, what I've learned is that I could give away everything and people still need help with either the implementation or the refinements or the nuances or the how it applies to themselves and their business. Sure, some people are going to be able to run with it and go and get results. And do you know what? Isn't that fucking amazing? Isn't it awesome that if you can give away something for free that transforms people's results in such a way that they can get a tangible outcome or something without them having to pay you? Don't you think that that is awesome? Don't you think that if we reframe this to being a validation that your stuff works, that you're awesome, that you are able to explain things and distill things in such a way that has people being able to get out there and actually do something before they've even paid you money? For me personally, I think that is freaking brilliant, because I know that there are more than enough people out there who do need that extra help, who will pay me for a course or for assistance or for a social media audit or for my eyeballs on their stuff. Like, I know that there is more than enough people out there to do that, to keep me busy and to keep my business going. But I also know that there are a lot of people out there who do not have 2 cents to rub together, that if they can get some results with what I'm putting out there for free, then I'm really fucking happy. And I really like you to think about things in that way, rather than always, or a lot of the time, being revenue focused, all right? Because the money will come, and we need to have strategies in place for that, which is how this dating analogy plays in. So we give them something for free, high value for free, in exchange for their email address. And then, which is like the let's go out on a date thing. And then there has to be something that either progresses them to the next stage, or you bail out or they bail out, right? So it might be going out for dinner. It might be meeting the parents. It might be sleeping with them. It might be whatever that next stage is, depending on how fast you work, right? And how fast they work and how this is progressing. So once you're at that point in time in a dating scenario, the relationship starts to kind of mature. In a marketing relationship, that's the same thing. We kind of, our connection matures and kind of solidifies a little bit. I had an email from a woman yesterday who said, I've actually not ever watched your blogs. She said, but I read everything that you put out and I don't know why, but I really love you and I love your energy and this, that, and the other. And I was like, that's really beautiful. Thank you so much. But, not everybody resonates with me, and that's totally fine. And I know that not everyone is going to resonate with you, and they don't need to. Okay, so relationship building process, the dating process, the relationship deepens and strengthens, and we keep having these coffee dates with each other. We keep going out for dinner. We keep going out for drinks. We keep doing things that we both like, that are mutually beneficial and enjoyable. And that's what we do with your marketing as well. Now, at some point in time, there are going to be some people who are like, oh my God, Margaret's the last person to comment, so I'm going to pick on you. It's like, Margaret, can you just tell me please how I can give you money? I really love what you're doing. I know that you can help me. How do I give you money? What do we do to take this to the next step? When you're in a relationship or you're in a dating scenario, then that's where like, you know what? I can't get enough of you. I want to have more of you. What do we do here? How do we progress this to the next step? So what you're hearing is that there's all these little steps that come along the way. Now, sometimes those steps can happen super fast in the space of literally one day, right? Sometimes it can happen over the course of 5-6 years. I've got people who have bought from me in the last 6 months who have been following me since I started in 2010. And even started before that when I was doing my jewelry business, like years before that. So, sometimes it can take 6 years. What I want you to hear from me today is that the relationship building process that we go through needs to have these little incremental steps in place in order for people to get to know us, in order for people to trust us, and to know our hearts. Right? And know really what we're about and why we're showing up and how we're showing up. Jess, yeah, you're right. You were. You really were. And you're still here, which is fantastic. You know, love you. So that the way that we do that though is that we've got to get people taking some kind of action, and it does have to go both ways, right? It takes two to tango. So I want you to be thinking about, all right, it's awesome to go and put all this stuff out there, but what is a call to action? So for example, what I'd love to offer you today, if you have got if you've got a website, if you have a Facebook page, if you've got any level of social media following or anything like that, I would love to do a digital audit on your stuff. So in order to do that, I'll put the link up here in the comments after we've finished, and you can register for that. It's like $97, which doesn't even cover my time, but I know how insightful it is, and it's going to give you probably a laundry list of things that you need to do in order to really enhance what you're doing online. So without being all weird, because I don't like doing those, I don't like making offers and these types of things, but you know, I know that in order to really help you, that's something that can often be important. So if that's something you want help with, let me know. I'll put the link in the comments. You can do the same thing in your emails. You can do the same thing in your lives. You can do the same thing on your page. You could create an event. You could offer it on Instagram. You can send out an email blast. You can put these offers out at the bottom of your podcasts, that like when you're at the end. We want to give people a call to action, because otherwise it's like buying these drinks for people and then going, okay, see ya. And they're like, but I just had a really great time and I think I want to get to know you more, but I don't know how to do that, right? So we've got to give them the opportunity, tell them what it is that you want and need them to do. So that is that from me. If you've got any questions, good morning, Evie. So lovely to see you pop up. I've seen your name pop up in my page over the last few days. Great to see you. Happy coffee run. So we are going live at 9 a.m. every day except Tuesdays, which is at 11, for the new season 3 of Unstoppable Entrepreneur Live, which is coined as becoming professionally famous online. I can't begin to tell you how excited I am to launch into the next season of that. Have an amazing day. I will see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, what we are talking about are the most amazing celebrations that you are working through this week, what you've learned, what are your insights. So please, if you're joining me tomorrow, let me know what you are celebrating. I'll let you know what I'm celebrating. I've had some really awesome learnings this week and at the end of last week as well that I would really love to share with you. So tune in for that. I will see you in the land of Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and my website and on iTunes and all of those places that we hang out. Have an amazing day, everyone. See you. Love you. Bye.